Check my levels.
Microphone check 1 2. Microphone check 1 2. Microphone check 1 2. Microphone check 1 2.
Side B Radio, who's this?
Yo, can I hear that new Tekashi joint?
Hey, what's up, y'all? This is Silent Someone, and you're watching Side B TV with Phil Jackson.
And now, your feature presentation.
Yo, this is Crotona P, and you are now watching Side B TV with Phil Jackson. So, Phil, put me in the game. I'm ready. 6 Man Entertainment. What's good?
Jerry hooked me up and started shooting me music, and he gave me this one artist that I've been playing maybe for the past 8 years, and I had no connection. Shout out to my man Sharif out there. He shot me his music, and I've just grown to be a fan. And now he has a new album out with a producer that's already been on Side B TV. I got my man Crotona P and Silent Someone. They have joined me on Side B TV. How you guys doing, man?
Coolin'. Thank you for having us.
Coolin', yeah, I'm good.
Hey, look,
oh yeah,
Silent,
thank you.
Hey, look, Silent, you're like becoming a regular, man. I mean,
Yeah.
like you're like you know what I mean? But that's a good thing though, because that just goes to show how much you're working, and congratulations on everything. Shout out to Rhinoceros Funk and that album. That real quick before we start, how is that album coming? How are people really liking that album right now?
Yeah, it got received good, I think.
Yeah.
Little should whatever, but yeah, I'm happy with it. I'm happy. As long as I'm happy with the project, that's all that matters to me.
Oh, real quick, because I was trying to hit you guys up maybe like a month ago, and how was, because I guess you were doing Sirius XM Rap is Out of Control. So how was that whole experience?
I didn't get to go to that interview because
okay.
So it was just JS and Rhino. They did that.
Okay.
But I listened to it. It was good. It was fun.
Word. Well, it's always entertaining. If Rhinoceros Funk is involved with it, it's always going to be entertaining. But let me start out, man. Congratulations again. Shout out to my man Jerry, because you guys have a new album out right now, and it's pretty dope. He sent it to me. He sent me an advanced copy of it, and I love it. And I've been playing it on Side B Radio, and I just want to say congratulations to both of you on your latest project.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Crotona P. This look, let me tell you something about this guy. Never met him a day in my life. Never, I mean, we never had no type of connection. None. But before I came on, I was telling him, I don't know if you heard me because like the audio cut out.
Mm-hmm.
Even though that this is my first time meeting you, and how you doing? You got to be
pleasure.
I've been playing for probably like the past 7-8 years.
I'm grateful. I didn't know. Thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah, and that's the whole beauty of it, man. Because that was my whole monologue when I first started. When like a lot of guys, like a lot of people say, where can you find this music at? This, that, and the third, and because people are still going on terrestrial radio FM radio, so to speak. And you're not going to hear the type of hip hop that we enjoy, that you guys make, and the hip hop that I make. But hopefully we're changing. But we don't even have to change that because there's so many more outlets. But I want to start with you, Crotona P. We talked for maybe like a second, but you're from the Bronx and you moved to upstate New York.
Yes, indeed.
How long how long were you staying up in when did you move up in upstate New York? I'm sorry.
I moved up here when I was 32 years old. I'm 48 right now at the moment. So I've been up here 16 years.
So how was that whole experience going from the Bronx, New York to Rochester? Because you're in Rochester, correct? Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's like how was that whole experience?
That experience was pretty cool. It was a decision that I didn't even know myself I was ready to make, but I made it with some help from a friend of mine named Philip up here, who grew up with me and used to be part of a hip hop group with me back in the Bronx. And he moved up here to Rochester. He was here for a couple of years, and he was telling me about the opportunities up here work wise and how I didn't have to continue doing some of the stuff that I was doing in New York. So, and actually in the Bronx, it's still part of New York, but yeah, the stuff that I was doing in the Bronx. So he told me to come stay with him for like about a month and work and see how I liked it. And I ended up meeting my shorty, who I've been with for 16 years, that same weekend that I came down. And I've been here ever since, man. And it was a culture shock at first because it was a little bit slower paced than what I'm used to in New York City. So it was, and it was very quiet at night. No, there was no crackheads talking outside the building or shootouts or cop cars or anything. You didn't hear none of that. So it was kind of quiet where I was staying at, and it was kind of weird for me at first. But as time went on, I started to, like anybody, you in an environment, you start to learn to adapt to it. You know what I mean?
What was the rap group that you were in back in the Bronx?
I was part of a couple groups. The first one was Lyrical Terrorists with my man 11, Ego Crusher, and a few other members that was in that team. Then after that, it was IC Square with T-Man, Mr. Gaden, and Idol A. We had a couple of situations on the table, especially my man T-Man. They wanted to sign him over at Bad Boy at the time, but we wasn't. He didn't want to leave the group, so that kind of that kind of messed up everything for him. So with that situation, but he stopped making music. I continued making music. Most of the people that I was in the group would stop making music. I just kept going and doing my own thing. And after RC Square, I came up here to Rochester, and I met Hex Nation, which was Schizo Flows. He basically put me on how to actually make money off of my music. So I got down with them for a while, and due to many unfortunate events, the crew is kind of like on hiatus right now. So I was doing my own thing for a while, and then I linked up with 6 Man Entertainment, which is the Bad Seed, Honey De Niro, Excel, Murder Megs, Shay Cobain. It's a whole bunch of us. It's a lot of us, but I linked up with them, and I've been rolling with them, man, for the last year now. I've been with them, so.
Yeah, we're gonna talk about your deal with 6 Man Entertainment in a minute, but Silent Someone, you're continuing to put out great music, man, and what was it that drew you to work with Crotona P?
Yeah, well, I met him when him and Mike Titan were working on their project, and I did a couple of beats on it, and he came through to my place or whatever, and we we kind of clicked a little right there too when we met each other, and but I liked his flow, and how he's very sincere and honest, and I like his vocal tone, so those are the reasons that drew me to want to work with him.
That's what's up. That's what's up. So
thank you.
So Silent. So with that being said, I'm starting to notice a pattern, which is a great pattern, that artists, when they put out projects, they want to do it with just one producer. So how does that make you feel when an artist comes to you and they say, look, I want you to produce my whole entire album?
I mean, Yeah, no, that's great. I mean, it wasn't like that way between us. It was a mutual thing.
Yeah.
It would be dope too if somebody, was like, produce my whole thing. But yeah, I mean, yeah, I think I answered it. No.
So,
Mhm.
real quick, what is the difference between producing for Crotona compared to a Rhinoceros Funk?
Um, I mean, yeah, there's a total difference. It's like, apples and oranges. It's again, it has to do with like delivery and and
Mhm.
tone and the way the flow is and everything. Like I said, like, Crotone is I feel like he's genuine and sincere with his, and like it comes from the heart, and it's like, and along with his vocal tone. So like my production will go to those things. It's like it'll go Rhino's like I go sometimes more aggressive, and we go, I go for a more liver feel. You know what I'm saying? But yeah. Yeah.
So, Crotona, you said it was a culture shock, just going from the Bronx to Rochester. So, when you made that move, were you like, was it like, oh well, I don't know, I'm gonna be still rapping or not, or you're just like, did you put it on hold for a
Oh,
little
oh, I had put it on hold before I even came up to Rochester. I had put it on hold for like a few years, and I came up to Rochester with an album that I created in the Bronx. And
bit?
when I came up here and I met Schizo from Hex Nation, he basically knew I had a whole project, and he's like, you could be making money off that project. Let me show you what you need to do. You know what I mean? And I came up with that one project, and from that point forward, I kept making more and more projects and stayed consistent throughout the years.
Um, did you feel as though when you were in the Bronx, because there's so many talented MCs, so many MCs that want to quote unquote get put on, and it's just a gang of MCs. Like, did you feel as though that sometimes you got lost in the shuffle? I mean, I can only
Of
imagine
course.
just being an artist, especially in the mecca of being in the mecca of hip hop, especially in the Bronx, New York. Probably every other person on your block was probably an artist. So, like, did you ever feel like you got lost in that shuffle?
Of course, many times. It wasn't until the internet that actually you were able to set yourself apart from people and start to cultivate like a support system. It
Mhm.
wasn't until then that I started setting myself apart because I felt like, every cipher, you get your peoples that like what you do, you get your peoples that think they're better and they want to focus on what they're doing, not what you're doing. Like you said, there's artists everywhere in the Bronx and everywhere up here too in Rochester. There's like a lot of artists over here, but I feel like the internet allowed a lot of us to basically make people focus in on what we're doing. Like separate from the pack, especially those that took it more seriously, like I did. You know what I mean? That really it meant something to actually get out there outside of the Bronx and outside of Rochester and get people to actually like mess with the project. So I feel like that helped a lot. The internet presence helped a lot. Of course, there was many ciphers I was in where you got attention, and there was a lot of situations that were presented to me because of me being in the cipher spitting and stuff like that. But it never really got to anywhere that I really felt was worth even like looking at until I hit the internet and started getting attention from the stuff that I was putting out.
That's what's up. So, once your friend showed, when you presented him the project, and he said
Hmm.
that, look, this is how you can monetize this. So, did that put the battery in your bag to create? She's like, oh, shit, I could create more music and get paid off of it. And so did
Yeah,
that make you be more creative?
yeah, it actually did. Like it actually it made me start taking more chances. Like in the beginning when I first came up to Rochester, I didn't know a lot of producers like that. So I was snatching stuff offline and stuff that didn't have any taglines on it. I was using stuff like that and just knocking it out and recording songs to it or verses to it, and just as if they were my songs, but the production wasn't anything that belong to me. It was just snatching it up just to showcase my skills. And then as time went on, I started linking up with producers that wanted to work with me exclusively, and that's when it started. I started this trend of that I didn't create it, but for myself, it was just like dealing with sole producers for projects. You know what I mean? So I started doing that, and it's been like that for a while now. Like every project that I put out within probably the last 5 or 6 years has been sole producers.
That's what's up. Now, Silent Someone, just talking about producers. How is it when you put out a project and it gets great response? I can only imagine the artist, just flood your phone, flood your DM. So like sometimes is it overwhelming sometimes like when because it's like, look, we got something right here. I already know that I'm gonna get a ton of artists trying to hit me up. So like is that always does that always happen? Because I can only imagine because uh that Rhinoceros Funk project that y'all just put out was super crazy. And I was playing every song on the radio, and I was like, yeah, he's gonna be busy for the next year or two.
Yeah, I mean, I'm busy with Silent Funk. Nah, I mean, I get, I'm very selective with so you could even be somebody with a name, and I could not want to work with you because I don't even want to work with a lot of people. I'm very I like working with Rhino and Silent Funk, Crotona. Now he's added to that list, and Mike Titan. Really, those are the only people that I got something I'm working on with Rex. That's
okay.
But other than that, I don't really take too much outside work because I don't even want to. Yeah, like I said, I don't feel a lot of my selections are I'm very picky.
Right. But when is the Rex project going to come out?
I don't have a date yet for that.
Okay. All right. How was it working with Rex? Because that's another one that has a great track record.
Yeah, no, he's thorough. He's very professional. It's good. It's nice. Flows nice. Chemistry is good. Yeah,
that's what's up. So, Crotona, look, man, I've been saying this. I just had an interview a few days ago. Shout out to my man Nature Boy out there in Baltimore, Maryland, and we were just talking about just up and coming artists and just regions. And I mentioned Baltimore because that's where he's from. I said, yeah, man. You got Jamil Honesty, you got Jay Royale, you have Dirt Platoon, you have like a whole bunch of MCs down there. It's like a little pocket, and it's like, yo, these brothers can really spit. So when I talk about upstate New York, bro, I don't know what is going on up there. I don't know if it's in the water. I don't know what. I mean,
Yeah.
You got Stove Guy from Syracuse, Shay Noir, Seven the Genius. You have, I mean, I don't even want to mention, like you got Ito up there because isn't Ito from Rochester, bro? It's like,
yes, sir.
I mean, it's like when you first came up there and when you first, started looking around, like, what is the hip hop scene, and then boom, like you found like how was that feeling? Because and I wanted to compare it to the Bronx. Is it the same? Is it different? Like what is going on up? What the hell is going on up there in upstate New York, bro?
I mean, they care about the sound. You know what I mean? They care about upholding that gritty New York boom bap sound that sometimes could be dark, sometimes murky, sometimes could be hard, exciting. They uphold that, you know what I mean? And they care about that. So you got a lot of artists up here in Rochester, New York, specifically, that are coming up and they're making names for themselves and they're out there doing their thing. You know what I'm saying? And I know a lot of them in passing. Like we see each other and it's like, hey, peace, Crotona, peace, like we see each other and there's always respect. But musically, I've never worked with a lot of them because, I tend to be a recluse and I tend to just be in my own world, in my own circle and doing what I'm doing and trying to focus in. I don't I don't allow a lot of outside, criticism while I'm creating. You know what I mean? So,
Right.
but I have collabed with a lot of MCs up here in Rochester. You got people like Azariah, Barbaric and Alvarez, Masterminded, Grenade Rap. I've done stuff with Blast Blicker, CeeLo Dubai from over here. It's a lot of Hassan Mackey. I don't know if you're familiar with Hassan Mackey
Yes, I
from
do. Yep.
Rochester. He also did. So we worked with him a while back. I've always collabed in the past more than I do now. The last couple of years, I kind of been locked in my own bubble. You know what I'm saying? Just doing my own thing. I do show up sometimes to the events that they throw, and then you'll see the Brad Piffs out there, 5'8" Fevers out there, doing their shows, and it's a dope scene, man. Rochester's they got a lot of hunger over here, and they put a lot of dope music out. But like I told you, man, I just be in my own bubble, doing my own thing. I don't like a lot of outside influences and music affect what I'm trying to do. I know when I'm looking for a certain sound and what I want it to sound like, and sometimes it doesn't coincide with what everybody else got going on, and that's fine with me. But I just like to find the sound that works for me, and thank God that He sent me Silent in my direction, and we were able to put something dope together, especially production wise. I felt like a couple years ago when I was on Rock City, well, a year ago when I was at Rock City Radio, me and Mr. Ripley had a conversation, and he told me, "OP, I think that you're looking for a specific sound, a certain sound," and he says, it's he kind of gave me like Tribe vibes, like that type of sound I was looking for. And I'm like, maybe, I don't know. I think I'm looking for something a little bit more spirited than dark and murky and stuff like that. And Silent came through. I think he read our minds and just laid the platform down, the soundscapes, and the rest was history, man. The pen just flowed on its own, and I just wrote a lot of some of the most honest stuff that I've written in a long time.
Great stuff, man. Yeah.
Do you feel as though that the artists from upstate New York really I don't want to say jumpstart, but actually, well, kickstarted, and actually made the city of New York change up their style a little bit, because I did notice that, because it just seemed like upstate New York artists seemed like they were just more hungrier, and like you said, it like they like
I
lyrics.
think, if I'm gonna be completely honest, I feel like that New York sound, it lives upstate. It don't really live in New York no more. You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
Because like if you really go down, if you go down to New York, what's really dominating down there is like drill and stuff like that. You know what I mean? That's dominating New York and the Bronx and all that over there. Like type of music we make, what they call old head music. It's like it kind of lives up here in Rochester, in Syracuse, Buffalo, Binghamton. You got Schenectady. You got a lot of places up here where you got spitters, man. And a lot of the sound, not only upstate, man, but shouts to Mass, man. Shout to Massachusetts, man. They got a lot of dope spitters over there. A lot of dudes that really are cut from the same cloth that we come from. So salute to Mass, man. Big up to Mass, Brockton, and everybody up there. G Fan Black, all of them, man.
oh yeah,
King
like yeah,
Arthur. It's a lot of dudes. A lot of
SD
dudes.
Neck.
Yeah.
I love SD Neck, man. Like
Yeah.
his sound is super crazy. It's so different. And where's Al Davino
Mhm.
from? Is he from New York or Massachusetts?
I'm not sure. I can't really tell you, to be honest.
Okay.
I'm not familiar with. I'm familiar with his music, but I don't know him personally.
So Silent Someone, like, because I know, like you said, you're very selective of the artists that you work with, but like outside of the people that you're working with right now, who are you feeling artist wise? It's like, yo, they got something going on. Like who are the those artists that you really are keeping the ear out for?
I mean, I don't know. I don't really. I mean, I keep I listen to a lot of stuff, but I'm not really. I like the some of the De La stuff, the new De La stuff.
You know what? They sent me the album. I haven't listened to it yet. I listened to one song. So, but everybody that, has been hitting me up is like, Phil, this album, this is it.
Yeah,
So
it's really like Yeah,
Mhm.
that and I mean, I listen to a lot of like when I'm like listening to music, I'm listening to records to, you know what I'm saying? Like that's my time, you know, that I'm listening. Well, I usually listening to some old rock or something.
Yeah, that and that's what I was just about to ask you. Outside of hip hop, what music that you listen to?
I listen to a lot of Donald Byrd. I
Mhm.
listen to a lot of Steely Dan. Mostly a lot of rock, like I would say lately, but like with jazz and rock, I listen to Les McCann, you know, stuff like that. David Axelrod, I listen to, and
Oh, David Axelrod.
yeah, shit like
Like
that.
he's like the Godfather.
Yeah,
I mean, like that guy. He was unbelievable. Like if you listen to David Axelrod, you're like, what the hell was he on when he made
one
this?
of my favorite producers,
Yeah.
like incredible.
Okay. And you know what? And that's my next question. Like, who are some of the producers that you're like, yeah, they got it. They got it.
Oh, okay. I mean, yeah, like I would say like Preservation. I don't know if you know who Preservation
Yep.
is.
Mhm.
Yeah, fire beats.
You know what? Real quick, not to cut you off, bro. I'm not saying that he's underrated, but he's like one of those guys that you won't hear from him for maybe like a few months,
yeah,
and then when he comes out, you're like,
yeah,
damn, bro.
yeah. No, yeah, like his records is crazy too. That's another thing. Like, you know, I dig a lot of, you know, producers that dig for records and shit. I still like, to me, Pete Rock. He's still the greatest. Like he got it. Like not a lot of people can fuck with him. Alchemist, of course, you know, that's a given though. But like, yeah, and that's it really. You know, like I could go on and on with that
Yeah,
list.
yeah.
Biz, I could, you know what I'm saying? DJ Shadow, No ID, all these people, you know what I mean? So it's like,
Speaking of Alchemist, because he's been experimenting with the sound for so many years up until present time. Like, would you go that route to like just experiment, like just not go left, but like just go in a different direction? Be like, hey, look, this is what I'm doing right now. Like, so have you ever got to that point? Yeah, I know you have. I mean,
yeah, of course. I mean, I do like, but people don't hear them. Like I put a instrumental tape out in like I don't know when it was, 2020 maybe. It's called Hodgepodge, and it's real like I'm not like super it's very trippy and psychedelic and you know, like it has all these emotions and whatever. But like, yeah, I do trippy shit. You know what I'm saying? And I do left shit. I like doing like stuff like that too. But it's like, you know, that's for me sometimes. Sometimes people don't even hear it either, or you know what I mean? So
no, that's what's up. That's what's up. Now, Crotona, just what inspired you? Well, I know like you said that you linked up with somebody and he showed you how to make money off of, but like what else inspires you to do music? Like who's some of your inspirations for you to be like, yo, I can write this, I could do a song about this. So like what inspires you?
I think instrumentation mainly. I think like depending on the sound that I'm given, that's what really brings out the inspiration. It's not like, anything like the what I go through in life starts to just come out, like in the music. So like it's really all about the instrumentation and how it inspires me to do whatever I'm gonna do. It's not nobody in particular that I listen to anymore. Maybe as a kid, yeah, I could give you artists that I listened to really get hyped before I went to record something or to write something. But like nowadays, no, I think I'm kind of like I'm kind of like at a place where I want to be as an artist, and
Mhm.
I don't seek like a lot of outside artists for inspiration. You know what I mean? So maybe I hear stuff that I like. I do hear stuff that I like. I think those are the drum dealers, one of the illest out here in the underground right now, doing it, and the both of them, him and Money Mowgli. I think they got a real dope catalog, and
Mhm.
I listen to them. I listen to a lot of underground dudes that are not only that I rock with, but people that I've done music with, but also people that I haven't. But we have a mutual respect online for what we do, and eventually we will work together. You know what I mean? But I mainly when it comes to music, I listen to a lot of like soft rock, to be honest with you. I don't listen to a lot of like hip hop. You know what I mean? I don't sit there listening unless it's my dudes like Slick Jack, Mike Titan, G Fam. You know, people like that. P Row, the Knuckle Draggers, Tally. People like that. You know, I listen to every now and again when I get a chance. Especially a little less now that I'm not on the radio station like I was before. You know, we was on a station for a couple years, so I got to listen to a lot of different music all week, every week. You know what I mean? But now it's like, you know, I'm locked in, man. I'm trying to just find my zone and just stay there and listen to, you know, after I finish recording or writing, then I'll go listen to somebody else's projects and catch up. You know what I mean? I don't like listening to a lot of people's music when I'm creating because it can rub off on you sometimes, and I don't like that.
Mm. You know, you mentioned one artist, excuse me. You mentioned one artist, G Fan Black. Let me tell you something about him, man. I don't know him. Never met him. I think we just started following each other on Instagram. And when I mean that he has that sound, he definitely has that sound, and he's gonna be up and next coming on the podcast. So, you know, put that bug in his ear. So, yo, Phil Jackson he's telling you to come through with the you know, I'm gonna be hitting them up. So shout out to Jerry out there. So Jerry, get that ready. But I read in your bio that
he's one of the hardest workers. He's one of the hardest workers out here. That's what I have to say. Him and Sankofa, some of the hardest workers out here, man. They got new projects out like every month, if not 2 in a month. So, you know, salute to those boys, man. They're hard workers. You were gonna ask a question. I'm sorry.
Oh no, it's cool. Now, I read in the bio that Jerry sent me that, you know, you describe your sound now as adult grown hip hop. And I love that because of the fact is you have some of the veteran MCs out here that aren't trying to do the same thing what their younger counterparts are doing, and it's getting a great response. So I want to get your opinion on, you know, how do you feel about like all the older MCs, the legends that are coming out and they're actually making great music. And I think I just read somewhere a couple of days ago that Big Daddy Kane is going to come out with an album now too, which is super crazy.
Yeah.
You know, he's doing a lot of features also.
Yeah.
So how does that make you feel?
It feels great to see the legends come back and contribute once again, especially when they put out solid material. You know what I mean? What I do have an issue with is it seems to me that every time a legend puts an album out or a project out, you start hearing the comments of like hip hop is back or hip hop is alive again. Hip hop is back. When us underground artists, we don't stop working. We continuously put out projects, continuously put out singles, albums, and I feel like we don't get our just due for keeping the culture alive. They seem to only recognize it when the legends come out, and I all due respect to them. You know, they've done everything, they paved the way for us and all that. But I just feel like we don't downplay the artists that have been putting in work, you know, year through year with this music that really matters. You know what I mean? Not no cookie cutter stuff. You know what I mean?
And that was my point, because, you know, shout out to the Bad Seed out there, because he actually pointed that out maybe like a year ago, and I stopped saying.
Yeah, he's still pointing it out every day. Yeah.
I stopped saying, you know, where's the real hip? Because just by doing a radio show for 15 years, I don't do the same songs over and over and over again. So if I could find it, why can't anybody else?
Right.
And see, and that's the thing. I call you guys like the new underground, you know, because like you guys are fresh sounding. You guys, you know, you guys have lyrics. You have the production is super crazy, and you know it just goes hand in hand. And you know, I get music from you guys just about every day, every other day. So like when people say, well, I understand that, you know, they celebrate the legends that come out, but you know, it's guys like you, G Fan Black. It's this one MC up in I think it's Massachusetts called Killy Shoot. You know, he's super crazy. You know, you got, I mean, you got like, and to be honest, I'm not even, and see, I think this is where it kind of gets messed up. Not messed up because they always think, well, Griselda. I'm like, well, before Griselda, they were doing this type of music before. You know,
Mhm.
Griselda came on the scene and they blew up. Shout out to them because I was playing the shit out of them also. But you guys, you had like Hush Kingpin, you had Smooth, you had like guys like that I was getting music from way before Griselda. So like the music has been out
Yeah,
there, but it hasn't been in the forefront. But my question to you is,
yeah.
did you have to switch? Did you switch up your style because what Jerry sent over said that is more grown adult hip hop? So like, what was your style before compared to now?
I think at certain points in my underground career, I felt like there was times that I was trying to like accommodate listeners more with the sound that might be popular at the time, taking chances with like sometimes like down south flows. There was a point where if you didn't have a down south track, you wasn't nobody was paying attention to you. So there was a lot of things like that I was trying out and experimenting with, and it just it was cool, it was fun, but it wasn't me. So I feel like as time went on and I got older, the subject matter kind of changed a little bit. Even though I've always spoken kind of like adult like concepts, but I just feel like this time around, there seems to be a sense of like a search for peace and calmness in my music. You know what I mean?
Got you, and that's a great response because like a lot of people a lot of artists get lost, and like you said, they try to fit in, and like you said, there's nothing wrong with like trying out a different style, and and that's what
Hmm.
you did, and you're just like, nah, this ain't me, and
Hmm.
and once you get older, different experiences and your thought process changes, and of course that comes out in your lyrics. But my question to you is also, was it always a goal to be signed, or did you always want to be independent?
Oh no! At points of my youth, of course, yeah, that was the goal, to try to get signed, even if it was through an like independent distributor or something. It was like that was the goal, to try to get signed, because that's the only thing we knew. But then once we learned that we can actually make money off of our own material, putting it out ourselves, then it became different. It's like, okay, now I don't care to be signed. I'd rather just make whatever money I can make doing what I love to do, and not have to change up anything or accommodate any label that may want me to do a song with this person or that person. I do music with whoever I want to do music with. You know what I mean?
No, that's what's up. And Silent Someone, I want to ask you because you've been a veteran producer for a while now. So
Okay.
are there any like younger producers like reaching out to you, just saying, hey, look, I like your sound, or are they looking for advice? Like, have you gotten that from your fellow producers?
Not for advice, but yeah, I get like like, hey, yeah, I'm a fan. I like your beats. I make beats and whatever. And
Mhm.
yeah, that's cool. So I like anybody that listens to my music. You know what I mean? And
Right, right.
they dig it, and it touches them. So
No, that's what's up.
appreciate any feedback.
No, that's what's up. Now, Krishna, I want to talk about Six Man and the Chain. How did you link up with that? And because shout out to Joanna out there, shout out to Honey De Niro, the Bad Seed. They got like a real good group over there. So like, how did you link up with those guys?
Well, actually, Seed took some time, like about maybe 2 years ago or like a year and a half ago. He took some time and started noticing a lot of different artists online that he thought were dope, but maybe could use like an extra push of support, and
Mhm.
aligning himself with those artists to showcase some of their talents and stuff like that. So he basically handpicked a bunch of MCs and asked them if they would be willing to be part of Six Man Entertainment, and just basically be a huge support system for one another. You know what I mean? And when he asked me, I had my reservations, because I have been part of so many different factions that I felt like, I'm finally doing my own thing, and I'm in a good place. So I wasn't sure how it would work out for me, and because I've been let down in situations like that in the past too, so I wasn't too sure if I wanted to try my hand at that again. But once we spoke about it, and he told me the plan and what he had in mind, it made sense. So I said I'm gonna give it a shot, and I've been with them for like a year now, a year and some change, and it's been great, man. It's been great to be able to speak to somebody about music that has had the history and the experience in it as long as he's had it. You know what I mean? Like, he's been doing stuff for ages now. So, and to be at the spots that he's been at, he's had experiences that I've never had. So it's always good to be able to pick his brain. You know what I'm saying? And find out, like, whatever I may have questions on, or whatever. And it's good to just have somebody to communicate about music and be on the same page. A lot of times you get people your age that are not really into the type of stuff that you do, like making music. So when you got like a whole little crew of people that do the same thing, it's easier to like send stuff to each other and what you think, and be able to talk about music, like you wouldn't probably be able to with your family members or anybody else. You know what I mean?
I like that track that you did. What's the one producer for Six Man Entertainment? You were just on this
We
project.
don't have we don't have one. We got about, I think, 5 or 6. We got more producers than we got MCs, to be honest.
What was
But
the what was
the project that I was just on was Van Guns. His name is Van Guns.
yes. I love that song, man. I think
Hmm.
I played it a couple times because I have 2 radio shows. I played it on both shows, man. So congratulations on that. But my next
Yeah,
question is
thank you.
how is it being a solo artist compared to being in a group?
Um, in a group, it's easier because a lot of times you just writing one verse, or like, depending on how many people on the song, you usually just writing one verse, or if you got to go back and forth on a third, it's pretty simple when you've been doing it for as long as I've been doing it. So, but when you got to do solo material, like, you really got to dig in, and you got to like bring out a side of you that maybe people haven't seen yet, or they haven't heard in a while, or different things. And you just gotta like you gotta put in a little extra work for your solo projects, especially if you want to carry the project. Like, you don't want to just have a compilation project with a bunch of artists featured on every song. Like, I take pride in, if I'm doing 11 songs, if I got at least 6 or 7 that are by myself, then I take pride in that. You know what I mean? Because, believe it or not, I mean, for some people it comes easy because they just write nonsense on the paper. But for other people, like, it takes a little longer because you're actually trying to. Not only are you trying to dig in and bring something out that means something, but there's also like a science to it. It's a craft. There's metaphors. There's double entendre, simile, different things that we as artists, lyricists, we tend to delve into. So it's not as easy as people think it is. But for some it is. But for others, it's a science behind it. So you got to put in that work.
That's what's up. Now, Silent Someone, you this is your second project that you have out with the artist,
Yeah.
and I want to talk about promotion. So, like, and shout out to Jerry. How important is that for to get that promotional push to have the right crew around you to promote that album, because like Jerry does a phenomenal job. So like,
Yeah.
how is that so important? Because I know it's important for the artist, but it has to be extra important for the producer too. So like, how important is that to have that team around you that really believes in the project and really pushes the project?
No, it's great, and yeah, Jerry does a great job, and I pitch in as much as I can because I'm like very hands on with all that. So like, but yeah, promotion, especially with Jerry, it did a lot. It got me a lot more. Like, my fan base grew a little more, and you know what I mean. And yeah, and I appreciate anybody that's digging on music and finds it. But with Jerry too, at least he's sending it out to people, so it's getting to more avenues and whatever. You know what I mean? So it's
The
great.
one thing about Jerry, he's very if you hit him at 5 o'clock, 5:02, he's gonna hit you back.
Yeah, sure, yeah.
Man, and he's gonna give you an album, and he's gonna give you and he's gonna say, "Well, hold on for a minute. Let me talk to this artist real quick. Yeah, we're good for next week." I'm like, "Damn, Jerry!" It's like I didn't even finish reading the damn chat. But you know what? But you gotta. But that 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 just goes to show you that somebody really believes in the music. I
Yeah.
mean, like Jerry is phenomenal with that.
Yes.
Every artist that I said that I wanted to interview, he got me that artist, and it's been nothing but dope artists. But I want to talk about the new the new album Serenity. Um, yes, is that the LP?
Yes.
Like,
Yeah.
oh, you got vinyl. Oh, we're gonna talk about that too. So, congratulations on that. Silent Someone.
Yes.
How was it putting together that album? Because I mean, yeah, I see the look like you had the vinyl right there. So I mean, I know you really believe in this project. So how was it putting together that project, and how long did it take to put together that project?
Well, I don't know. I'm not very good at keeping track of time and months and days, but the way it came about was just, it was very like that, and like, you know, it was God, you know, speaking through me and delivering what Crotona wanted to hear. Because everything that I made, everything, if I work with somebody, it's I'm crafting it for them. I'm not giving them, I have stuff already and then I'm sending it to you. You know, everything is made for you. So, and everything that I was sending, I would say he probably passed on one or two, maybe something like that. But everything, so like, I felt like it was the way God intended it to be. Like, those are the things that I needed to make for him to say his message, and you know what I mean. And I had a great time doing it. And like, yeah, the project's great. Like, I really believe in it. He's a great MC, and then like the outcome of the songs, like, you know, we really complement each other. I was like blown away when I was listening to it. I was like, how we really complement each other's sound. And so it was great. It was great. It was great. Yeah.
So Crotona, how did you like? What is the meaning behind the title of the album?
Just where I'm at right now at this point in my life, it was just basically like I'm at a point where I've kind of found peace and calmness in my life. Every now and again, you know, the devil plays his hand and tries to tweak stuff, but for the most part, I've been pretty happy. I've been in a good place, you know, like at work, at life, and in music, and the sound that I'm trying to create. So that's why and, you know, there was a lot of talk about peace and stuff like that on the album, and stuff that I'm trying to like move towards more these days. And you know, I just felt that it actually fit the project perfectly.
That's what's up. Now, who came up with it? But because I asked this with Rhinoceros Funk and Silent Someone about their album cover, the artwork. Who came up with the artwork with your album cover?
That's my brother who I do most of my projects. He does most of my almost everything that I put out is through my brother Adrian Espinoza from Moski. His name is Adrian Espinoza. He's from Moski Graphics, and you can hit him up for any, you know, on IG. Hit up MOSQUI Graphics, and you can link up with him, and he'll work with you, man. He's a great graphic designer. You know, he incorporated a little bit of AI for the commercial that we put out for the project. He actually has me on the cover. How you see me on the cover, he has me walking on the water, and he has, you know, he actually has Silent's face is actually the moon.
I'm the
so
man.
Like, he actually has Silent. He's the moon. So he's in the commercial. He's following me around as I'm walking on water. So it was a pretty, you know, pretty dope. He's dope at what he does, man. My brother's one of the illest out there. So salute to my bro Adrian, Moski Graphics. You already know what time it is, brother.
You know what? You just mentioned something that I want to ask both of you about. Silent Someone, I'm gonna ask you first. How do you feel about AI? Because there's some people that like it, there's some people that don't like it.
Yeah, I don't like it.
Tell me why you don't like it, brother.
That's the only answer I could give. I don't mess with it or nothing. So
what about
like a little bit, like I messed with it just to see, you know, like doing like some little artwork shit, but like other than that, you know.
Do you feel as though that, you know, it will record labels and like they would manipulate the sound and they would manipulate some of the art form. Like, do you feel as though that might happen, or it's
Yeah.
probably happening right now?
I know. I'm sure it has, and it can, and it will. Or you seen Terminator? I'm just
Yeah, the machines is taking over. The machines is taking over. We about to be obsolete pretty soon. Like they gonna need no rappers. They gonna just have like these robotic dudes that sound like human beings rapping bars that the average human being wouldn't rap. Yeah, so it's gonna happen eventually, whether we want it to happen or not.
You know
whatever.
what? You know what, Silent Someone. The crazy thing about that is, I just interviewed, like I said, Nature Boy from Baltimore, Maryland,
Mhm.
and he said the same exact thing. He said he mentioned Terminator.
Right? Yeah.
He said, and I was like, bro, do y'all know each other? Because he said the same exact thing. So, I think AI, like you said, like it can be used in a good way, but then
Yeah.
like they'll try to not pay anybody, and they'll just put out music, and they'll still reap the benefits off of that, and they don't have to sign artists. So, but my question I'm gonna go back to Sound Someone. What is your favorite track on Serenity?
Ooh, that's a good question. I'll say I like my favorite.
Mhm.
My favorite might be Stone Cold, maybe.
Okay.
Might be my favorite. My close second is like not even maybe it's I Lose to Fear. I mean, like all of them, But like I would say Stone Cold, but I like every song on here. I think they're great. They're great.
Crotona, what song stands out on the album, and why?
I think they all stand out, but my favorite that I love listening to, a million times if I could, is probably Grand. I think Grand is really dope because of the delivery, the lyricism, the way I'm dancing on the track, the scratches at the end of it, Nas on a sample. If you really like, I had to edit that song recently for FM radio, and I did not curse one time on that song. You know who cursed on that song? Nas on the sample. I had to edit all Nas's curses. I had to edit, but I didn't have to edit one for myself. So I was kind of proud of myself for that one.
What's up?
So is it getting radio air, like is it getting FM radio airplay as we speak?
Yeah, here in Rochester for sure. I got a couple stations that I send it to. I'm gonna send it to a few more, but yeah, there's a couple FM stations over here that rock with me.
Oh.
Yeah, send it to me because real quick, um it's not official yet, but I'm gonna be on FM in Atlantic City, Detroit, Michigan, and Texas. So if you had clean music,
Nice, congratulations.
I need that clean music. But to wrap it up, man, what do you want people to get out of this album, man? And to date, do you like? Okay, let me back up. How many projects do you have total, including this one?
Mm.
Oh.
Silent or myself? You
I'm gonna
asking
start.
Silent or you asking me?
Yeah,
You want to start with me?
yeah.
Wow. Okay. I would say the first one is Be Expression. The second one, Recovering Has Been Project. The third one, AARP. Then after that was PX. That's four. Then I had after that was MVP with Volatile, which was five. Then I had African with Pablo Brown Beast from South Africa. That's six. The Imperfect Courtier was seven. Oh my God, I forget, man. Because then I got the album with Manzu Beats. I did two group projects with M. Doc Diego with Manzu Beats. I did a solo album with Manzu Beats. I did an album with LOB from the UK. I did one with King Bondolero at the beginning of the year, this year, in January, from the No Face crew and out there in Toronto. I did a project with Killer Bong from the UK. And after that, I've just been putting out, they've been putting out a lot of features that I was on that I recorded last year. They've been coming out this year. But project wise, it was the one with Silent right now. This is the last one. So I think all in all, I think I counted right now about maybe 10, 11, 12. I don't know. I'm not sure.
How many more projects
It's up there. The number's up there.
How many more projects are you going to put out with 6 Man Entertainment?
I don't know. That all depends on our run and how we keep going, and as many as that's my bro. So as long as he's loyal to me, I'm gonna be loyal to him. You know what I'm saying? So keep rocking with them and doing what we gotta do, and take it to higher levels. Hopefully, you know what I'm saying. God willing. You know what I mean? But I don't have no plans on leaving 6 Man Entertainment at the moment. I'm rocking with them. They the team. You know what I'm saying? And they support me, and I support them. You know what I mean? And that's it. But I'm a rap to my teeth full. I'll tell everybody that.
No, that's what's up.
How I'm a rap. Yeah.
How are we promoting this album? Are you going out doing shows? Are you going to radio stations and doing mad interviews? Like how is the promotion run going right now?
Yeah,
it's going good.
Right now it's beautiful, thanks to Jerry and some of the stuff that I've been doing out here in Rochester. I've been putting some legwork out here, but mainly, a lot of the stuff Jerry's getting us, like thank God for him. You know what I mean? Silent said we going with Jerry this time. I said, oh yeah, let's do it. You know what I mean? I've had good history with Jerry, and Jerry always comes through with interviews and blogs and everything we need. So, as many interviews as we can do, we're gonna do them. If I get any shows booked, then I'm gonna go out there and do what I gotta do and perform. But right now, at the moment, we just doing a lot of interviews, a lot of radio promo, a lot of internet promo right now at the moment. Hopefully we start doing some paid ads. I'm thinking about doing some paid ads too. So, stuff like that.
Now, any videos out for the project out?
No, not yet.
Not yet.
Not at the moment. Not at the moment. But I just invested in something that I needed to get for a while, and I should be recording something soon. It's Thanksgiving weekend, so you know how the family gets kind of crazy. But I'm hoping for this weekend if I can record something and get it to who I need to get it to edit it, then hopefully within hopefully the beginning of next month we should have something. I'm not gonna say what video yet. I'll leave that as a surprise. But if you fill in the album, hopefully it's the one you like. I definitely know it's the one I like.
Word. You know what? And you brought up another question I want to ask. Silent, someone I'm going to ask you first. How important is to invest in yourself? Because like a lot of people try to cut corners and try to do it the free way, but sometimes you have to put your own money up to invest in yourself. So how important is that as a producer to invest in himself?
It's it's important. I don't do I think that it's necessary? Not really, to a certain degree, but as long as you have if you could base a budget for yourself, I think whatever it is, and you could, even if it's $50, you put that towards then you're doing fine. You know what I'm saying? So it's whatever you have to work with money wise. Yeah, but promotion's great, and it helps. It helps. Yeah. So I would definitely say invest in yourself and as much as you can, financially, because if you have a lot of obligations and things,
Well, Crotona, he already answered the question, so I'm gonna ask you another question. What is the best advice that you got from another artist or just somebody that supports you? They don't even have to be an artist. They don't have to be in hip hop. Like, what is some of the best advice that you ever got, and you use that towards your craft and your music?
Just be you. Just be you. That's the best advice I've ever gotten from anybody that knows what I do, has heard me throughout the years, and knows my ups, my highs, my lows. If they tell me, P, as long as you keep being you straight, I'm just gonna keep being me. That's the best advice I ever got from anybody.
That's what's up. No, that's great advice. Now, whose idea was it to put out vinyl? Cause that's a dope. That's very dope. I mean, I got like artists send me vinyl all the time, and I don't even play it. I frame it. I got like and I don't know if you can see it, but I got like Pete Rock, UMC's.
Okay.
I got everybody, man. So like, whose idea was to come out with vinyl?
I mean, it was kind of, I guess, my idea, and then I just ran it by Crotona, and he was, cool with it. I love putting out vinyl. I love vinyl. I collect it. I have a lot of vinyl,
That's what's up. That's what's up. So, wrapping up, how can people get a hold of this project? How can people follow you guys? How can people support you? Do you have a website? Yeah, and that's my next question. Do you have a website?
Vinyl, you could go to elasticStage.com/Crotona P Serenity, and you could get the vinyl there. And then you could go to Crotona's Bandcamp, my Bandcamp, and all DSPs, right? Right, Crotona? Yeah, right.
Yep. You can get it at all DSPs, Bandcamp. Listen to it if you want to stream it, or you can buy it and support what we're trying to do. And you can reach me at Crotona P on Instagram, Crotona PBX on Instagram, Crotona PBX on Facebook, or CrotonaP@gmail.com if you want to book me for any shows. If you want to talk about it, doing any features or something like that, just hit up my email or hit up XO Joe from 6 Man Entertainment, and she'll handle the business end and let me know what's going on, and we'll take it from there.
That's what's up. What about you, Silent
Instagram, Silent Someone _BX.
That's what's up.
Yeah.
My last question is, give me one word. And I said, and I posed this, and I gave this question to Rhinoceros Funk and Silent Someone. When I say Serenity, what is the one word that defines that album? And I'll start with Silent Someone first.
Spiritual.
I like that.
Yeah.
What about you, Crotona?
Strong. The strong material.
Strong material. I like that. That's two words, but I'll take it. I'll take that as one. You see what I'm saying? But I want to thank you guys for coming on, man. Like I said before, before I even knew who Silent Someone is, I was playing his production. Before I knew who Crotona P was, I was playing his music. And now, the universe came together, and, shout out to Jerry once again. And I'm going to be honest with you. I don't even remember how I met Jerry. I mean, I don't, but once we connected, he was telling me about, this artist and that artist. I was like, well, damn, send me some music. And, he just flooded my emails with a whole bunch of music. I mean, I think it started off with a kid called Quest, because isn't he from upstate New York too?
He might. I'm not sure, but I know his name. I'm not sure though.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And the thing about it is, man, it's like it never misses. I mean, everybody that Jerry has actually put me on to has been a great interview, and it's been even better. It's been an even better interview, and just the music is just even more greater. So I want to thank you guys for coming on. And like I said, if you have anything, that you feel as though that I need to play, or if you feel as though that, if there's an artist that you want me to, not even just besides yourself, it's like, yo, Phil, you need to check out this artist. I'm going to send you his music. By all means, man, just send me his music, man. Send me the music, and, I'm going to support you guys for 100%, because I've been supporting you guys that I didn't even know you. And, that's how much I like your music. I had no connection, no nothing, and now we finally meet, and, it's a pleasure just being in the same company as you guys, man, just trying to uphold the hip hop culture, man. My last question, I already know how you feel, Silent Someone. I ain't gonna ask you about it. How do you feel? But Crotona, how do you feel about the hip hop culture right now as we speak?
I think it's all right. I think it's at a good place right now. The underground, especially, I think is at a good place. I think you got a lot of artists out there doing creative stuff and putting out good, solid music. You know, from all over the place, not just New York. It's everywhere. And I don't know. I think it's okay. I think it's not bad. But I mean, the rest of the music is kind of crazy. You know, real like hip hop music being in any Billboard charts or any top 40s or anything like that. So it's kind of like in a bad place in that sense. But the underground, I think as long as we keep it going, I think we'll be all right.
Yeah, you know what? And you mentioned a great thing. And I was gonna pose this question to both of you, but I was like, what? They don't even care. I mean, it's like I know they don't care, but I just want to get your just to get your opinion because you mentioned it. You know, for the first time in 30 years, there was no top 40 hip hop
Right.
songs in the Billboard. Like, how do you guys feel about that?
Uh,
Exactly.
Hey, it is what it is. I don't care. It don't matter to me. Yeah, it don't matter to me. Like I'm not. If I want to listen, there may be some songs on the top 40 that are not hip hop that I may enjoy. So salute to them for doing that. You know what I mean? I don't. It don't matter to me. I listen to. I know where to go when I want to find music that I like. You know what I'm saying? I don't need Billboard. I don't need the top 40 charts to tell me who to go listen to. I know where to find it. And if you like this kind of music that we do, this natural boom bap music, then you gonna know where to find it too. And if you don't, you know somebody that knows somebody that knows somebody. So it ain't hard to find.
No, it's not. It's not hard to find. If I can find it, anybody can find it. Are you doing any
Mm-hmm.
up and coming shows that you want to promote?
Not myself, not at the moment. Like I said, if I gotta talk to XO, see if maybe we could find a couple places that we could book, maybe in the upstate area to keep it close by. If there's something in the Bronx, I may go back home and knock something out there. But I gotta touch back with the home team and find out what the business is because XO handles a lot of that too. So,
You know, my last bonus question is, and I'm glad you mentioned that. How do your people in the Bronx they see the progression that you've done, just not in music but in life, and they see that and it comes out in the music? How do they feel about that? I know that's a great feeling for them.
I don't think they care, to be honest.
Really?
I think everybody's so in their own bubble and going through their own struggles in life and stuff like that. That I don't think most people. Some people that know me that are not music related. They may see that I still put out music, but I don't think they care enough to click on it and check it out and not like that. I don't think that's even the type of thing they're into, the kind of sound they're into. A lot of like I'm Puerto Rican. A lot of my peoples that I know from back home are listening to Bad Bunny and reggaeton and stuff like that. They're not listening to Crotona P's somber music. They're not checking out none of that. You know what I mean? So I think if I think there's more people here upstate that are actually music inclined and that they really like check for it. You know what I mean? They're the ones that really check for it. But back home, I think that a lot of the people that I grew up with have moved to other states, other cities. Like it's not the same. I'm 48 years old. You know what I'm saying? It's not like when I was 18, 19, 20, 25 out there doing dumb stuff on the block where I was hanging out with everybody in the block. People grow up, they have families, they move on. You know what I mean? So, and the last thing some of them still like hip hop, but a lot of them are like. I noticed one thing about people is they tend to get stuck in the era. Like there's a lot of people that if you're not talking about Raekwon's Cuban Links album, they don't know nothing else beyond that point. So you can't talk to them about the Us Kingpins the way the way he knows the way I know, because they won't know what you're talking about. You know what I'm saying? But talk to them about a Biggie album or a Pac album, and they stuck still in that era and they can't move forward. You know what I mean? So those people, they don't really care about what I'm doing musically. They just know, he's still out there trying to be a rapper. He's still out there trying to be a rapper. That's how they look at you. You know what I mean?
Man, let me tell you something. Me and another DJ friend of mine, shout out to DJ Soulbuck out there, from Beat Minders Radio. We talk about this all the time, and we can't stand it. It's like, stop talking about the 90s. I mean, it was a great era.
Yes.
Actually, the 80s, I mean, me personally, mid to late 80s is probably the best era. I was like, the 90s was dope. But I'm just like, you can't create that. You got to go. I mean, it's like everybody's stuck, but not everybody, but some people are stuck in the 90s. And it's like, bro, we're not wearing baggy jeans. And, we're not doing all that no more. We're not wearing all baggy shit. It's like, bro, we're 40. I'm 53 years old. And I'm like, bro, and look, I don't dye my beard. I don't be. You see what I'm saying? Look, I just like what I like. And I like this sound right now. And does it have a 90s feel to it? Yeah, of course it does.
Right.
But you guys are
Mhm.
taking it to another level. And that's why I like Silent Someone and Crotona P. And I want to thank you guys for coming on, man. And, just keep blessing us with good music, man. Not good music, but great music.
Thank
That's
you.
what you guys are doing right now, man.
Thank you, my brother.
You guys are setting the bar so high right now. And like you said, Crotona, I'm gonna tell you another thing too. It's always people. This is my experience. There's always people outside of your area that is gonna support you even more, which is the craziest thing.
Mhm. Yeah. Yeah, I don't spend my time trying to like click up with anybody in the area, nothing like that. If you respect what I do and you want to work, and I respect what you do, we can work. You know what I mean? But I'm not gonna go hang out in the studio, somebody's studio, drinking Hennessy all night and getting tore up from the floor up for so we can have something in common, so we can rap together. Like, bro, I'm going in there for business. I'm going in there to knock stuff out and keep it moving. Like, I'm not. If I want to get drunk, I do it in the comfort of my own home. And I'm not out, like, I'm not in that point in my life where I want to look like a fool in public. You know what I mean?
That's
So
what's up.
I don't need to click up with anybody. I do pretty good by myself. You know what I mean?
That's what's up. And I want to thank you guys for coming on, man. And like I said, keep me posted for any new projects and any song. Just hit me up and just say, hey, Phil, I want you to focus on this song. I want you to focus on that song.
Mhm.
All means, you got an open door policy, and please come back and just please let me know, update me on anything that's new. And like I said before, on my end, I'm going to be pushing the hell out of this project and any future projects that you guys got coming out. Yeah, put that album up, Serenity. I want everybody to go get that. That is Side B Radio and Side B TV approved. That album right
My
there,
brother.
produced by Silent Someone. Like, this guy is in his bag. Like, and the lyrics, you gotta listen to the lyrics.
Yeah,
You gotta,
he's bag too. Yeah.
the lyrics are deep. You gotta listen to the lyrics. I think sometimes people, like, they just hear the beat, which is dope,
Right.
but the lyrics go over people's heads. And you gotta listen to this because it's adult, deep, personal stuff. And you're gonna enjoy it, and everybody can relate to it. And I want to thank you guys for coming on, man.
Thank you, brother. Thank you. Thank you for having
Thank
me.
you, my brother. What? Before we leave, what's your IG?
Sabi Radio. Yeah, we just
Sabi.
became friends today, and that's crazy.
All right, I got you, man. I got you. Yeah, I know.
No, not on your part, but on my part.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Because now it's like, because I think I looked you up and I followed you, and you followed me right. I said, "Damn, it was that easy." I said, I could have been getting music from you all this time. But the great thing about it is, like I said before, my friend Sharif from Louisville, Kentucky, he put me on to you.
That's what's up.
So,
That's dope. That's dope. Salute to Sharif. Salute.
So, hey, look, man, I want to thank you guys for coming on. Serenity is out right now. Please, it's on all streaming platforms, correct?
Yes.
All streaming platforms. You can just type in Crotona P, Serenity. It's gonna come up. Please go and support that album. And I really want to thank you guys for coming on.
Thank you, brother. Thank you for having us.
Thank you, my brother. Salute. Thank you.
Hey, look, that is gonna do it for me, man. Sabi TV signing out, man. Silent Someone, Crotona P, Serenity is out right now. Shout out to my man Jerry out there. Hey, look, We did another one. We did another one, Jerry. Hey, and next week it's gonna be dope for chill. Sabi TV signing out. I'll talk to you guys next week.